I am Dr. Ravinder Kaur, Professor, Department of Public Administration, Osmania University. In today's session, we are going to discuss about division of work and coordination. The objectives of the lesson are, we will be introducing division of work to you, then the reasons for division of work, advantages of division of work, disadvantages of division of work. The main objectives of this unit are, you have to know about the issues concerning the principles of organization, that is work division and coordination. After reading the unit, you will be able to define division of work and coordination, list out reasons for work division, enumerate advantages and disadvantages of work division, list out the types and limitations of coordination. Every organization, big or small, comes into being with an objective. This objective may be construction of a big dam like Sri Ram Sagar or a small house. The organization may be as complicated as the government of a country or as simple as a shop. It requires many men and women to carry it forward. Whenever many men and women work together, work must be divided amongst them. Such division of work makes the men and women achieve best results. Hence, it is not possible to achieve the objectives of an organization without first deciding how to divide the work. Luther Gulick, therefore, considers that work division is the foundation of an organization, indeed the reason for an organization. In every organization, there is division of work amongst the various persons and units, because one person or unit cannot do all the work of an organization. Work is divided into a number of departments, branches, etc. in government organizations. The division of work amongst the persons and departments is necessary to achieve specialization. Division of work calls for harmonious relationships between the persons and units. The establishment of harmonious relationship is known as coordination. Thus, coordination means bringing about harmonious actions of persons and units with each other in order to achieve a common purpose. Administration is a collective activity. Every collective activity needs coordination. Coming to the reasons for work division, we can say that work division becomes necessary for the following reasons. Men and women differ in nature, capacity and skill. We know that different people have different nature. It may be in the nature of one to prefer typing, another's nature may prefer desk work, and so on. One may have the capacity and skill to lead a team of workers in an organization. Another may be good at following but not leading. Yet another person may have the capacity and skill to teach but not to do research. It is not possible for the same man to be at two places at the same time. Suppose there is a man in an organization who knows both typing and shorthand. He cannot attend at the same time to the typing and shorthand work. Work division also becomes necessary in view of the fact that the range of knowledge and skill is so great that one cannot know more than a fraction of it in his lifetime. In other words, art, that is knowledge, is long and life is short. Another factor which calls for the division of work is specialization. These are the days of specialization. To emphasize the factor of specialization, a person with some trouble in his right eye approached a doctor for treatment. The doctor advised the patient to consult an eye specialist who specializes in that particular area. Knowledge is growing so fast that one cannot keep track of all developments in all areas. Even if one tries to specialize in more than one area, he would learn something of this and something of that, but nothing completely. Thus, work division, according to Luther Gulick, is a question of human nature, time and space. To give an illustration, Luther Gulick explains the need for and advantages of division with the help of a shoe factory as follows. In a shoe factory, it would be possible to have 1000 men each assigned to making complete pairs of shoes. Each man has to do different types of work. For example, one would cut leather, stamp in the eyelets, sew up the tops, sew on the bottoms, nail the heels, put in the laces and pack each pair in a box. It might take 2 days to do the job. 1000 men would make 500 pairs of shoes a day. Each man, irrespective of his capacity, skill and nature, would be assigned the job of making a pair of shoes. One has to do all the work connected with the making of a pair of shoes. This might lead to a spoilage of leather and unskilled handling of the whole job. The same job of making pairs of shoes may be done by dividing the work among these men in an entirely different way. The men would be divided into groups depending upon their nature, skill and capacity. According to Gulick, one group of men would be assigned to cut the leather, another to put in the eyelets, another to stitch up the tops, another to nail on the heels, another to insert the laces and pack the pairs of shoes. Coming to the other aspect, that is subdivision of work, it is true that the whole is equal to the sum of its parts, but simple parts do not make a whole. To illustrate, a typewriter consists of so much steel, glass, paints and rubber, but different bits of steel, paint and rubber do not make a typewriter. Similarly, certain measure of sand, bricks, cement and steel do not make a house. Surely, a house means all of them. Thus, unrelated parts do not make one thing meaningful and useful. Any piece of single work cannot be subdivided into different components without the danger of its central idea, design and operation, relationships, etc. Meaningful division of work would engage many men and women in an activity. When men and women work in an organization, they should know what to do and when to do. Otherwise, a great deal of time may be lost. Workers may get in each other's way. Things may be done in a wrong order. Mere subdivision of work creates confusion, and such a situation calls for the need of overall supervision and coordination. The coordinator decides what to do first and what next. In other words, he coordinates the work. Advantages of division of work. 1. It enables utilization of the varying skills and aptitudes of the different workmen. and encourages the development of specialization from the workforce. The varying skills and aptitudes of the men have to be identified, and they have to be entrusted with such work for which they have an aptitude. For example, one may like leather cutting, another packing. If they are given the job of their choice and skill, they would do it in a better way. By doing the same work again and again, they automatically become specialists in that work. It eliminates the loss of time for a workman in turning from one tool to another. For example, from knife to a punch, a workman in our example needs a knife to cut the leather, a punch to put the eyelets, a needle to stitch, a hammer to drive nail on the heels, etc. Naturally, time will be lost in the shift from one tool to another, and it is true that one cannot handle all the tools as perfectly as one who is specialized in them. The second advantage of work division is that it would also facilitate additional economy. This is possible if we assign insertion of laces and packing to unskilled and low paid workers. Leather cutting would be assigned to skillful workers, as it would minimize leather spoilage. The above mentioned advantages follow even without introducing the new labor saving machinery. This is the machine age. Attempts are on everywhere to replace manpower with machines. Automation has become the order of the day. Use of computers in preparing electricity bills, for tabulating results, preparing pay bills of employees has increased. Calculators are used very commonly. Use of typewriters, cyclostyling machines is a common feature in almost all the offices. Use of machinery requires special skills. Thus, introduction of machinery accentuates the division of work. It divides the worker into two categories. One, those who can run a particular machine effectively, and second, those who cannot do it. In any organization, different materials such as wood or paint or cement or steel are used. Use of a particular material time and again by a person or persons improves their skill in handling this material. Thus, special skills are developed not only in handling different machines and tools, but also different materials. Advance of science and technology leads to the invention of new machines. As each field of knowledge and work advances, an individual will be less and less able to encompass it and maintain intimate knowledge and facility over the entire area. Thus, there will arise a more minute specialization because knowledge and skill advances while man stands still. From the above discourse, we understand that it is not only the human nature that warrants the division of work, but also invention and use of machines. Hence, division of work is not only logical, but also pragmatic. Disadvantages of division of work. There are some limits beyond which the work division cannot be advantageous. The work should not be subdivided if it does not require a full-time worker. To appoint a full-time worker to do a part-time job is uneconomical. However, in such cases where the subdivision of work results in the provision of part-time job, a worker should be appointed to use his spare time. Another limitation is that the subdivision of work must not pass into organic division beyond physical division. Further, Luther Gulick says that it might seem far more efficient to have the front half of the cow in the pasture grazing and rear half in the barn being milked all the time, but such an organic division of work fails. One cannot separate the front half of a cow from the rear half. Similarly, licking and pasting of an envelope cannot be separated. Licking and pasting is a related activity. Coming to the next aspect, coordination. Every organization is characterized by division of work. Under the principle of division of work, different units perform different functions in an organization. However, division of work or specialization is only a means to achieve the organizational goals. The goals of an organization can be achieved only if the activities of various units are synchronized and integrated towards the organizational objectives. This process is called as coordination. Coordination seeks to adjust the various parts of the organization in such a way that they make maximum contribution to the output as a whole. It is the orderly arrangement of group effort with the objective of achieving harmony, unity of action, and avoiding conflict. Importance of coordination. The need for coordination arises from the natural tendency of the members of any large group, when left to themselves, drift away in different directions, thus giving rise to conflict. Three causes of such conflict deserve special mention. First, conflict or overlapping in the work of the employees or units of an organization may arise from an ignorance of the other activities. One unit not knowing what is being done in another may unwittingly duplicate the latter's activity or may take a decision in conflict with it. Secondly, there is a tendency among men in charge of particular functions or activities to attach too much importance to their own work and be unmindful of the needs of others and make encroachments on the latter's sphere. They refuse to see their particular charge as the part of a large whole to which it must be duly subordinated. The third potent cause of conflict is the greed for power and importance which heads of organizations, especially the more pushing and vigorous ones, have. They indulge in empire building, that is, seeking constantly to expand the sphere of their own organization by adding to it new activities which impinge on the jurisdiction of other organizations. The importance of coordination has been aptly highlighted by Mooney and Rayleigh in their work Onward Industry. This term, coordination, expresses the principles of organization in toto, nothing less and nothing more. This does not mean that there are no subordinated principles. It simply means that all the others are contained in this one principle of coordination. The others are simply the principles through which coordination operates and thus becomes effective. Basic features of coordination. If subdivision of work is inescapable, coordination becomes mandatory. Coordination is a process. It is a process of achieving integration among different organizational units. Thirdly, coordination is present in all organizations but in varying degrees. Fourthly, unity of effort is the heart of coordination problem. By unity of effort, we mean that the managers arrange the nature and timing of activities so that individual efforts blend into a harmonious stream of productive action. 5. The chief objective of coordination is a common purpose. As Dalton McFarland contends, the degree to which the organization achieves its intended purpose is at least a partial index of the extent to which the chief executive has been able to coordinate it. Sixth, coordination cannot be achieved automatically. It must be won by intelligent, vigorous, persistent and organized effort. Relation between coordination and cooperation. The terms coordination and cooperation are widely used but mostly confused. Cooperation indicates the willingness of people to help each other. Coordination is a much more inclusive concept. Coordination requires more than a mere desire and willingness on the part of the participant. Cooperation is a necessary adjunct to proper coordination, for without cooperation, the question of coordination does not arise. Coordination is organizational, whereas cooperation is purely individual and personal. In today's session, we have discussed about division of work, the need for division of work, advantages and disadvantages of division of work. Then, whenever we talk about division of work, we also have to discuss about coordination. We have discussed the meaning of coordination, the definitions of coordination we have discussed in today's session. 1. What is division of work? Second, what are the advantages and disadvantages of division of work?